Good afternoon, morning, or evening, depending on where you are. Hope you're having a great day so far. If not, I hope it turns into a good day. You've got to think positive, just as we had to think positive last night against Hoffenheim. Now, this is a follow-up to my reaction video that I had last night when on my way home. Hope people enjoyed that as well. It was on full-time reaction as well. You need to check those guys out because they are class, awesome guys. Now, today I want to do a follow-up video, a bit more of an in-depth one of my thoughts of certain things in the game, and I'm going to cover 5 different things. And what 5 different things I'm going to look at is obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold's performance and what that could mean for the future. I'm going to have a look at Mignolet as well, who, again, brilliant performance. We're going to go in on that one as well. Lovren, for obvious reasons. I hope people understand. Henderson as well. And then I'm going to wrap up the whole game as a whole as the 5 points that we've got there. So let's go straight into Trent Alexander-Arnold, 18 years old. And even the free kick aside, if you took that free kick aside from his game last night, he had a brilliant game. He had an excellent game at right back, and there wasn't too much that he ever did wrong. If he did get thrown out of position a little bit, or if someone managed to actually use some skill and get past him and drag the ball past him, he has enough pace and awareness about him that he still got back, blocks a cross or anything like that, or can at least challenge the attacking player so that he can limit the amount of offence that they can do. And I thought that was really, really good. It's not just that, though. When he was getting forward, there was one particular part, I think, where he got fouled in the box, but it wasn't enough for a penalty on up their end. But he was skipping past players, dribbling past them as well. And it's like, what the hell? 18 years old, he's a right back, and he's doing that. Absolutely phenomenal, brilliant stuff. His delivery from set pieces is excellent. The fact that now that he's on the pitch, when he's on the pitch, he's the one taking corners and stuff like that as well. And without Coutinho on the pitch, he was taking free kicks. And we've got to talk about it. What a free kick. What a free kick. Now, I'll tell you exactly what mindset I was in when we had the free kick. Not just because it was him and I think it was Moreno that was stood over the ball as well. But I'm just thinking, it's classic Liverpool. Go on, sky it. Sky it. Sky it. You know that you're going to sky it. It's going to go over the bar. And as I'm halfway through a sentence to someone else, I'm like, oh, go on, it's going to go halfway out. And my hands just, you know, when you celebrate a goal and your hands instinctively just go up in the air. You can't help it. You can't help it when you feel that type of thing, that type of feeling of just, oh my God, what the hell was that? I've just witnessed not only a great goal, a fantastic free kick, Trent Alexander-Arnold's first goal for Liverpool, and it's in the Champions League, and it could be a vital goal as well that set Liverpool alight. Essentially, it really, really did. It was a fantastic goal. I just didn't expect anything like that. The fact that it wasn't an absolute top bins, top corner free kick or anything like that, which you sort of expect. It was the way that when you saw it on one of the replays, that he just wrapped it right round the wall that was in front of him. Very, very good curl on that ball. It was ridiculous. From the angle it started at, it curls just outside the post and curls back inside. It was so close. You cannot get a more perfect free kick unless it hits the post and in. That is how close that was. It was absolutely unbelievable. It was brilliant. And for an 18-year-old in such a vital match like the Champions League playoff, in the first leg, it was important for us to kick on and actually get something from this game, whether it was a draw or more, preferably, would be the win. The fact that we got the win is excellent, but he set us on our way. And he looked like the best outfield player that we had. You had Salah and Mane. I might even mention a little bit on Salah as well, just as we wrap up the game. He was brilliant. Let's not try and put too much pressure on the lad, though. Not too many expectations, because we do have a habit of jumping on the back of being like, oh, he's going to be excellent every single game. He won't. And I'm not saying that as a negative. He won't have, the best game ever all the time. Now, if he goes on and does that, I'll eat my words. I'll absolutely do that. You know what? I want you just to eat my words. I'll eat broccoli. And I hate broccoli. It is like eating a tree. Anyway, he was excellent, and he was probably man of the match. But there was one guy that was followed. He followed closely to Alexander-Arnold, and that was Mignolet. And a lot of people probably shouldn't be surprised that I say that, because Mignolet was fantastic last night. It has to be said. Put under pressure within the first 5, maybe even 5 minutes. Within the first 5 minutes, Lovren, and I'll get onto him after this, gives away a penalty. I personally don't think it was a penalty, but you just don't make that sort of that rash sort of challenge against someone like Gnabry, who is I don't know if he's known for I don't want to say diving, but he definitely did kick his legs out a little bit, and eventually he got the penalty. The guy who took the penalty took an absolute age to take it though. The whistle blew, and he hadn't even stepped back for his run up. So he spent another 5 or 10 seconds there, then walked back, and he just walked in. He kind of didn't even run in. I'm expecting someone to do, I'm all for placed penalties if you place them in the right area. Like, if you're going to place a penalty, you place it at the furthest point of the goal. The furthest corner, the furthest top corner, whatever. You don't try and place it to someone about 2 feet, maybe not even a foot. Mignolet didn't really even have to move, but the fact that he seemed to know it perfectly where that ball was going to go. It was a terrible penalty, it really was. It was a terrible penalty. But he was brilliant all night. He was fantastic. There were certain times where, we get corners coming in and he comes out for the ball, and thankfully it gets headed out and by Matip as well. And that's actually, a bonus mention for Matip. Matip was excellent as well. He had to clean up so much of Lovren and Moreno's crap. He was excellent. He was brilliant, but he deserves a better partner. Mignolet was one of the best games that I've seen him have. And Mignolet can do this. He can have these absolutely blinding games. He's a brilliant shot stopper on his day, and he really proved it last night with some of these shots coming in. There was one where it just got in front of our defender. The forward slide is sliding on the floor, gets a shot off though, and just reaction save. But then the other striker, or the actual striker it was, fires a shot off and it goes wide. It hits the post though on its way out, and I just thought, friggin' hell, this is close. This is close. This is why I tweeted out Mignolet kept us in this game so much, because they did, in the first half especially, they had so many good chances, and Mignolet was top draw. You can't argue with me on that. He was fantastic. So obviously now, they're the positive ones that I think, and I do think we had a couple of positive ones. I think Mane is starting to look back to his best. He's getting there. He's making good choices. Salah, for me, had a bit of a mixed one. He just seemed a little bit off the pace in some ways, but then some of his decision making was just a little bit, there was some chances that he had where he could have actually maybe, cut onto his left instead of trying to take it on his right, being a left-footed player and stuff like that. But I can't complain too much because we got the result at the end of the day. I've got to come on to, I'm going to leave him to after Henderson actually. Jordan Henderson, you see it straight away when Henderson got subbed for Milner. Milner just had a bit more of a positive influence in that midfield. Henderson looked like he was struggling to maintain their midfield, like trying to contain the midfield, I should say, not maintain. Try and contain their midfield, but also he just seemed to struggle a little bit. And that'll happen from time to time, but it just wasn't what people would probably say would be a captain's performance. That actually kind of went down to Alexander-Arnold, but I'm not getting into that yet. I think there was someone on Twitter last night did say he's the future captain, but it's like, let's calm down a little bit, let's reflect a little bit more. But to be fair, Henderson didn't do a great deal wrong. He just didn't do a great deal good either, in my opinion. So that's the only reason I picked him out. Wijnaldum had a bit of a quiet night as well, but again, nothing too untoward. Unlike Lovren. And, you might think that I've got it in for Lovren at the moment, and to be fair, you probably wouldn't be wrong, because I'm just sick of Lovren getting ahead of someone like Klavan. Now, Klavan's not the best defender in the world either, he really isn't, but Klavan, he assures me as a fan much more than having Lovren in the team. Lovren just looks all over the place. He looks like Bambi on ice half the time. Giving away that penalty, it wasn't even just that though. Before that, he's sliding all over the place in the box and outside the box, and it's like, stop sliding. Stop trying to slide. You clearly can't slide to get the ball. What are you trying to do? I've said it before, everyone knows, or everyone that actually saw the Dortmund game that we had, which was obviously now in the last couple of years, probably one of our most memorable games, and he had a very key role in it. And no doubt, when Trent Alexander-Arnold is firing in corners at the other end of the pitch, Lovren's getting his head on it, and it could have been a goal. Fine, but you're not an attacker, you're a defender first. You need to start either learning how to defend, take your partner, Joel Matip, as a role model, perhaps, because he's defending way better than you are, and he's having to clean up. He was having to do the job of almost 1.5 to 2 defenders because Lovren was just not doing his job at all. He just seems to forget the basics. He always seems to get mixed up with Mignolet somehow, and it's just... Carragher says that getting a new player like Van Dijk, for example, or somebody else, says it's not just getting another player, you've got to look at the system as well. Now, for me, everything on that pitch, maybe Moreno a little bit, he was a bit of a negative for me because he kept getting stuck up the pitch, and that wasn't on because he keeps getting stuck up there and he forgets his role. Yes, he's good going forward and he can deliver a ball and he is a threat, but you're a defender first. If you are going to go up there, you need to use that pace and get back and track back instead of leaving it as a back three, because that's not fair on the other defenders. It leaves us wide open, and it did leave us wide open to a lot of counter-attacks. But we're still on Lovren. Probably the 9 other players on that pitch were fantastic. Moreno wasn't anywhere near as bad as Lovren. Lovren was unbelievably bad, and he was at Watford. He was at fault for quite a lot of things going on in that game. And yeah, I respect Carragher and I respect his opinion, but you can't tell me that if we brought someone in like a Virgil van Dijk and you put him next to Matip, how much more secure, that's the word I'm looking for, our defence might look. And I say might look because it's not going to solve everything, but it'll go a damn long way to solving our problems in defence, being Lovren. It would give you the flexibility to be able to go to a back three as well with the amount of defenders we have, but at the end of the day, at the moment, I want Lovren out the firing line because he's going to be in the firing line whenever he makes a mistake now. That's just how it is. I'm going to admit that straight away. If he makes a mistake, he's going to be bang in the firing line from me anyway. Not that will mean a great deal to him, but anyway, that's just my thoughts on him. And the game as a whole, Liverpool, in some respects, were lucky. We came out and we got some good goals, some good fortune to be fair as well though. There's no good fortune about the Trent Alexander-Arnold goal. That was just a fantastic piece of beauty, and it was absolutely excellently played. Yeah, I can't fault that goal whatsoever. I would never fault that goal. It was beautiful. Probably one of my favourite goals I've seen in a long time. Probably since Emre Can's overhead kick. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. It really was. The second goal, Milner. I mean, I think he was looking for a cross or something like that. It deflects slightly off one of the defenders. I think it might have been Nordveit, actually, who used to play for West Ham last season. It bounced off his chest. And, it bounced slightly off his chest, gave it a bit more spin to the ball, and it just went into the top corner, 2-0. Fantastic. Again, defence went a little bit lapse and let that, I think it was Mark Uth or something like that, or I don't exactly know how you say his second name. It's like Huth, just without a H, I assume. But he scored a very good, what I would call a FIFA low-driven drive shot, and it was a very good goal. I've got to say that straight away. It was a really good goal. Bad defending on our part. Mignolet couldn't do anything about that, in my opinion. We saw the game out. They were dominant for long periods of that game, and they attacked way better than us as well. But we have to remember, now, I didn't know this until I was on my lunch break today, that Hoffenheim hadn't lost at home since the last day of the 15-16 season. That's a ridiculous record to maintain, and what a fortress they've turned that place into. The fact that we did get a win there, I'm quite happy about that, to be honest with you. I'm much more happy about the result today than I was last night. I was happy about it last night, but I was a bit pensive because it was a 2-1. We've got 2 away goals now. We go to Anfield in the next leg. It's a European away day. European away days are supposed to be difficult against a Bundesliga team that are notoriously difficult. They are very much on the up, under a young, talented manager as well, with some very talented players as well. Look, I can't fault the guys, really. Obviously, yeah, Lovren doesn't do it for me, and Moreno had a bit of a, he didn't have the best night either, getting stuck up top and that, but credit to the guys, they pulled it off. Now we go into that second leg and into the next Premier League game, hopefully with a bit more confidence, and we've just got to get some signings in my opinion. We've just got to get some signings in. It's not long until the end of the transfer window, and I fear that Liverpool will get left behind, and this will be all we've got. But anyway, that's another day. Let's take this for what it is. Positive, let's move forward, and hope that we can get results in the next couple of games. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a bit of a longer video, but I really wanted to get the rest of my thoughts out to you. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you are new around here and you've enjoyed this content. Hit that like button if you could, please. That would be excellent if you could. Subscribe, as I said just before. Thanks very much for watching, as always, and I'll catch you later.